Morning everybody, this is Stereopolice. It's been a while, it's Christmas morning, it's Christmas morning, 11 o'clock or so. Christmas morning or Christmas Day, the year 2020. It's been a heck of a year. I haven't checked in a long time. I'm filming this on my cell phone, so I don't know how this is gonna come out. Got a pretty good cell phone, so it should come out. I'm at my cottage in the Blue Ridge. You hear the sound of the river down there. We had a day and a half of torrential rain, so that river is really flowing. Here's the cottage. There's the road up the mountain. I'm in a hollow. I'm in a hollow. There's a wood bridge right there. And let's go in. I'm spending some time alone up here over the holidays. Believe me, it's a good thing. I need a break. It's been a heck of a year. I haven't chimed in on the videos for a while because it's been one heck of a year, and I've been a little, I was going to say detracted, but also distracted. I sit out here. I've been doing a lot of writing, so I sit out here and do some writing in this old louvered room. It's very nice. You can open these louvers. Do a lot of fires in that fire pit out here. It's got a nice galley kitchen. Very small cottage. I call it a cottage. It's more of a cottage, not a cabin. Walk right through to the back door. And it's got over 5 acres. It goes up into the woods up there. I've made some trails. Made some trails up there for the gator to go for a ride. Built that wood bridge down here to cross a little creek. But it's really nice to have a little getaway place, and I love the Blue Ridge, and bought this little cottage. The earliest records of it were from 1922. But the home inspector looked at the foundation and said that the brick was just a facade and that the foundation was riverstone, and that the cottage was probably built much earlier than 1922. And it's still got a lot of the original accoutrements, and I kept them that way. You know, the original sink and tile, and got a little utility room. I don't have a washer and dryer here. I don't need one. Well, it's been a long time since you've seen me. And it's got 2 bedrooms upstairs. Haven't even filled this room. But most importantly, what to do with the audio. The audio. And yes, I brought some stereo equipment here. This is the sound room. It's a nice little room, and I've never had a small little dedicated sound room. And by the way, I no longer have a sound room at home. I built out that sound room in my basement where I did all my videos is now a dedicated room for my father. My father is 90 years old and he's living with me now, and so I had to build that out into a room. So this is my only sound room, and I had to choose an appropriate system to bring here, and this is it. And I'm still experimenting with different pieces, but this is the system that so far sounds the best in this little space. And it is the Luxman receiver. I say receiver, it's an integrated amp. What is the model? I forget the model. L590AX. The Class A Luxman. I think it's 60 watts a channel, Class A. I run it in line straight mode, which is the purest mode. It bypasses the tone controls and the balance. And yeah, it bypasses all that stuff. Of course, I have my TAC, my favorite DAC. Right now I'm streaming from YouTube, but I also run Spotify Premium. I also am rocking some vinyl, of course, through my favorite turntable. That is my Technics SL1200 with my Sumiko. Which one? This is the Songbird cartridge. Moving coil cartridge. What was I listening to? Oh, it focuses in, yes, Roxy Music, Avalon, one of my favorites. And the speakers that I found that sound so incredibly real, I never realized how good these speakers are. I never gave them a chance. I had to repair them, and the only repair I had to do was the woofer surrounds, which thank goodness they're rubber surrounds, not that foam crap. They had pulled away from the metal basket, so I just used some epoxy and sealed them back down. And man, are they staying. And that's the only thing I had to do. You can see the epoxy work I did down here. And man, these things, I never realized how good they sound. They are so realistic sounding. They pass what I call the window test. And I don't know if I ever talked about the window test before in audio. But the window test is where you open up a window like this one. And you turn on a song, preferably live music. And then you go sit outside, somewhere outside the window, and you crank it up to, live levels. Live, reasonably loud, live volumes. And you go walk around outside the window, pace back and forth, go sit out there, and see if you get a sense that there's actually a performance happening inside. And that's my window test. Would you actually believe that there are musicians inside as you walk back and forth past the window? And that's a really good test for an audio system, because you can really get a sense for the colorations of sound with that test. It's really weird, but it really does work. Now, I've never heard anyone talk about the window test before, but it's my own kind of test. And it really does work if you want to get a sense for colorations of sound. And man, oh man, the other night I was sitting out there in my little 1950s chairs doing some writing, and I was listening to some music, and I don't know what it was I was listening to. I forget, but I was like, wow, holy cow. It just sounds so realistic and so natural. And these speakers, these ADS speakers, really are incredible. And I never realized it and I was bringing different speakers here and subbing them in and out to see which speakers would work the best in this rather small room. And man, those ADS are incredible. And I got them for a dime, man, because the woofer surrounds were peeled away. And I didn't even know that the tweeters would work. I didn't know if they were blown. I thought they were ready for the trash can. And right now, and the bass is, I don't know what the measurements are, but the bass is incredibly deep in this room. These speakers seem to be full range. I can't say enough about these ADS speakers. And I'm telling you, if you get a chance, let me see if I can pick up the model number of these things. If you get a chance, you got that? I can't see it, but if you get a chance to get a hold of these things, man, they are incredible, and I'm loving them. And it's just amazing what you can actually find. Anyway, let me give you I've decorated this room in kind of a retro style. Yeah, I got my Pac-Man. I got my Pac-Man machine. I got my retro chair for it. There's since my doggy doesn't get to come up here much, of course I have a picture of him, Jasper. And I've got a couple of retro things laying around just to give me that feel, because this house, I just get a sense this house needs to be decorated in a sort of a retro style. So I've got some, when I go to junk stores and antique stores. I just picked this one up yesterday. I was in an antique store up in Stanton, Virginia. It was downtown Stanton, Virginia, and there was this collector who had passed away, and the store was trying to sell his stuff. And this is a picture of the Hindenburg over New York, and the back of it is dated 19. Oh man, I forget the date on the back of it. It's handwritten, and they didn't have a price on it, and they had not yet researched it for the price. So I made them an offer, and they were uncomfortable with the offer. And I said, "Man, strike while the iron's hot. I'm going to blow my budget over the Christmas." And I was about ready to walk out there. Said, "Oh, we'll call you with what we think is a good, reasonable offer for it." And I was about to walk out the door, and they accepted my offer, and I was thrilled by it. And I love this photo because I just love going through, because you can pick out some of the old buildings, like there's the Empire State, and then back there's the Chrysler Building. Right there, the Chrysler Building, where right there where my finger is. The Chrysler Building, beautiful building. And then some of the other buildings, iconic stuff, the subway system, the trains, and of course the Hindenburg is just was a modern marvel back then, before it, of course, blew up. But some old ads. Oh, and of course, what would a music room be without an actual realistic photo of the Battersea Power Station in London. So anyway, the orange door. So this is my sound room, and let me give you a little sample of a live. I've been doing a lot of rocking out to, of course, one of my favorite bands is Stereolab, and I was hoping to get to see them live when they got back together before COVID at a festival. I couldn't. COVID screwed up a lot of stuff. And I had tickets to go see Black Midi in San Francisco, and COVID screwed that up. So hopefully you don't get a copyright violation on this, but... And I found this old piece. This is a kerosene stove. An old kerosene stove that I'm using for storage. Heater. 19-something Montgomery Ward. I don't know how good the microphones are going to be on this cell phone. I'm a drummer, and I love creative drumming. This guy in Black Midi is just fantastic. And this is a good. And I love Black Midi in general, but this guy is just super on this. This is the Boiler Room concert. man, that guy's a great drummer, I'm telling you. What a great band. Let me play one more. And also, I wanted to talk to you about a catalog I got too, which was really took me back to old times, you know. I have it right here. Get a lot of things in since I haven't made a video in a while. And have gotten a lot of comments about how I talk too much, and I get so many criticisms. You know, YouTube has turned into, you know, if you look at a lot of videos, YouTube has turned a lot of the comment sections of many YouTube videos. It's just turned into a bunch of kiss ass. It's just a kiss ass section for the most part. And yet it seems like the comment section of my videos is nothing but a bunch of critiques. And all I'm trying to do is be real. And in the kiss ass comments are usually with people who are fake as shit. And I'm trying to be real, and people criticize me for it. It makes no damn sense to me. And another thing I'll say about YouTube is a lot of one of the reasons I don't make videos anymore is, you know, I've watched a lot of these people that have gone down the I don't like using the word rabbit hole because it's one of these things that people are saying a lot lately, but it kind of is. A lot of these YouTube audio reviewers are now slaves to the YouTube algorithm, and they're no longer making videos because they're inspired to make videos. They're making videos because of the algorithm and the need to make videos and the monetization and you know, click the bell and whatever it is that you say, hit the like, click the bell, and then they're cranking them out like an assembly line, and you can see it. You can see it. They're not inspired. It's just one after the other, and they're stretching for topics, and it's just becoming labored, and there's just nothing inspired about it, and it's just getting old. And I don't want to be part of that system. I don't want to be a slave to YouTube. I don't want to be a slave to the algorithm. I don't want to be YouTube's drone, worker bee. And man, a lot of these audio reviewer guys, these audio guys are like that now. One video every other day, one video every 3 days, and it's just on and on and on, and everything, the formula is exactly the same. Not much off the cuff speaking, not much realism. They don't share their lives with you or anything. It's just the same room, the same kind of thing over and over again. They're not sharing anything with you. It's the same shit over and over again. It's because they're an assembly line. They're cranking crap out. And that's not me. I'm not going to do that. And I guess that's why I get criticism. That's why people give me crappy, you know, in the comments section. Because gosh, you know, I'm real. I'm actually a real person giving you real opinions. So go ahead and thumb me down and criticize me for talking too much. Because I'm not giving you assembly line bullshit. So that's one of the reasons I don't make videos anymore. I don't want to become one of those guys, one of those audio guys, one of those inbred assholes who all know each other. Most of them are from New York anyway. Anyway, intellectually inbred, that is. Let me look up another a live. I was going to go see Stereolab and Black Midi. Black Midi, you either like them or you don't. It's like Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg said, you either like them or you don't, or you're somewhere in between. Okay, Stereolab live. Let's get something live. Yeah. Trying to do it with one hand. Yeah, we'll shoot. big bass, some of these things. That's another drummer I like. That guy from Stereo. I don't even know his name. I think it's Andy somebody. But man, he's awesome too. Drummers make bands, man. I'll tell you what. Anyway, let me tell you about this catalog that harkened me back to the days of the 80s, the early 80s. I'm having a hard time finding ammo. I had to pick up a box of 45 ACP the other day. That's all they had. 9mm I can't find. Where's that catalog? Doggummit. I guess it's outside. There it is. And it is cold out here, so I'm going to bring it inside. It's cold in the Blue Ridge. I love it up here in the hollows of the Blue Ridge. I'll tell you what. So, this catalog was sent to me, and I thought it was so cool. I didn't ask for it. Music Direct. Music Direct. I don't think I've ever purchased anything from these folks. Maybe I have. I haven't purchased anything, any audio equipment in quite a while, other than some used things here and there from eBay. But man, this is a super high quality catalog. I mean, the feel of it. I don't know what the cover is made out of, but it feels like a, I don't know what, like velvet. I don't know what, I don't know anything about printing and materials, but it's got this velvety feel to it. But they put a lot of work into these catalogs, putting them together, and the materials and the printing process. And I love paper catalogs and just flipping through them and just having them around. And I remember back in the early 80s, that's all there was. Of course, there was no internet, and I love going to the stores. And back then, and I was really into audio as a kid, and you'd go to the stores, and every month or so, it seems like there'd be some equipment review magazine that came out, and it had all of the different products from all the different manufacturers and lined up next to each other, and it would give all the specs, and you could flip through there and look at all the things that were available on the specs and compare everything. And then excuse me, and then stores, even the local stores, like in my area, in DC area, we had Meyer Emco and we had Audio Associates, and they would come up with their own catalogs, because that's what they would sell. And of course, back then, nowadays manufacturers, seems like they'll come out with a product, and 6 months later the product is defunct and there's a new product. But back then, products would last for years, so they could put them in catalogs and they'd still be relevant a year later. So stores would have catalogs that were good for a year, and even Radio Shack, right? Radio Shack would have an annual catalog. It's another catalog I'd look forward to getting. And and a lot of time and energy and money was put into these catalogs and just putting them together. And that's the case with this one. It's a gorgeous catalog, high quality printing, and it's arranged. Just look at this. Big, beautiful photographs of things, and gives little descriptions and prices, and not all the specs are there. You can go pull those from the internet if you want. But one of the things that albums, records, equipment, cartridges, you could just flip through here. That's why sometimes I just want something to do. I always flip from back forward with my thumb, just, these are all records you could buy. And the arrangement of just putting this thing together, this catalog itself is a work of art. The color of printing and the quality of the paper, I mentioned that before, but just, what do you call it, composing it, I guess? I don't know how the pictures, blend in from one product to the other, and just, it's just amazing. I just think it's fantastic. These people at Music Direct ought to be commended for this thing. This catalog itself. Look at the clip section here. If you haven't gotten one of these things, you ought to get one just to have around, like a table. The JBL section. The JBL speakers are way overpriced. $15,000 for that thing. I like looking at them, but damn. No way. But yeah, I just like flipping through this, and wow, there's mine. Is that mine? You saw that. L590. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Let's see what it says about it. The feats at which Class A output stages excel. Mid-range liquidity, far underneath the surface, low-level details. Stupendous dynamics. Fully bloom tonality. Stately bandwidth. Who comes up with this stuff? You get in spades with the L590AX2, or is that Roman numerals? What would that be? 10, 12? A12? Under the hood, only distortion, negative feedback, 4.0 drive circuitry with 3 parallel push-pull structure. Ultimate efficiency power transformer, high capacity block capacitor, delivers instantaneous power with unshakable control. Wow, I didn't know I had all that. By the way, I didn't pay that much for it. Mine was pretty heavily discounted because I know some guys down in Richmond who are dealers, but when I got my Klipschorns, and they are also a Klipsch dealer, and they're a dealer for Luxman, and fortunately I got it pretty heavily discounted. Safely, I'll say this. I mean, it's safe to say I got a couple thousand off that price.